Are you ready to be tuned in to the Mind of Opex, best philosophy show on the internet, let alone the world? Why is that? Because I try to be as truthful as possible, as perfect as possible, and when I'm wrong, I like to explain to you guys, hey, I fucked up, I was wrong. Well, I got a better camera for you today. The camera I bought before was because I thought my camera in the past was shit the bed. I thought that Bill Gates or some fucking big tech oligarch turned off my camera and won't let me record anymore, which sort of was true. But the problem is that I had a problem with my SD card. An SD card. My SD card was burnt to shit and I didn't realize it. So now we're back on the old camera where we have better visuals, better audio, and we're not going to be suffering with the old camera. Or with the new camera, sorry. We're back to the old camera. Anyways, with that out of the way, you're tuned into the Mind of Opex, and I definitely want to talk to you guys about something great today, something very important. But then again, I wanted to talk to you guys about something important last time, and I want to talk about children playing and the importance. And I didn't get any views. I didn't get any likes. There was like 40 views, maybe 2 likes. So I assume the important shit you guys don't even give a fuck about. So we're going to talk about something important today. If I get the views and likes, so be it. If not, so be it. This stuff has to be put out into YouTube because I have not discussed this stuff. I have discussed this stuff in the past, but we're going to actually dive thorough into this video. It's Opex. We are the strongest man on the YouTube. Not really. The most mentally strong person on YouTube. Not really. The most spiritual person. No, but I am the most physical, mentally, and spiritual person. The Trinity. On YouTube, in the world, I've never met somebody more physically, mentally, and spiritually aligned than I am. Or powerful. Or strong. Anyways, no more boasting. No more looking at fucking big muscles and shit. It's Opex. I want to talk to you guys about being men. Now, I've talked about alpha males in the past. I even made a video called my message to men. I'm going to reiterate that video at some point because there isn't any men anymore. They're all fucking betas. They're all fucking pussies. They're all fucking homosexual and transsexual and confused and pansexual. I don't even know what that is, but I'm assuming a lot of people are pansexual. I don't even know what that means. But I assume, right? So anyways, let's dive into it. Is it really that we are just weaker genetically? Is it because we are weaker mentally? Is it because we're weaker spiritually? You know, like we're not going to church, we're not seeking intelligence and wisdom and guidance. We don't have... No, let's dive into it. We don't have fathers anymore. So what do you think is raising? I said what, not who. What do you think is raising children nowadays? Because it can't really be a who if you don't have a who there. Most children, 100 years ago, was raised by a father and a mother and had plenty of siblings, right? The average child had plenty of siblings. The father and the mother had plenty of children. They raised plenty of children. And it was a normal way of life. They would even have children very young, so I don't want to say that, nowadays kids are having children even younger. Not really. It's about the same. So, it's not that. It's men aren't around anymore. Go to your local supermarket. Tell me how many alpha males you see. Not many. Shit, go to a fucking gun and ammo store. I don't even see many alphas there. The reason I'm not seeing alphas is because there is no fathers. A father is a stern man, alpha qualities that are desirable from women. Not these pussies that don't raise their kids, that aren't even around. See, if you were an alpha, you'd be around. If you were an alpha, you'd have control of the situation instead of being, oh, she controls everything and she just tells me to leave and, you pussy! Pussy! I don't care how good the pussy is, I'm in charge. Straight up. Straight up. I don't give a fuck how good the pussy is. And neither should you. Pussy is easy to get. Easy. Do not succumb to pussy, because that makes you a pussy. Alpha males are the alphas. They control the situation. They understand physically and mentally and spiritually how to interact with their significant others and control environments and situations. What do these betas do now? We had an argument. Fuck that bitch, and they leave. You little pussy. When things get mildly uncomfortable, you leave. You fucking pussy. That's why I talk so much shit about MGTOWs, men going their own way. You pussy. We need fucking alphas back, not these betas. If you're leaving because things got difficult, you're a pussy. Right? The same reason you're like, I really need to work out because I'm so unhealthy and blah, blah, blah. But it's so much work. You're just complaining. You're a pussy. Guys, I'm not saying this to boast myself. I'm saying this to show you reality. Reality is that men are pussies these days. There is no man. It's almost like a cyborg, an android, where you're connected to technology, you have no testosterone, no saying anything, because you're scared to offend someone. Fuck you. Offend someone. And if that person's offended, they are not a man. See, you can say something about my mother. Your mama's so fat she hula hoops Saturn's rings. And if I get offended by that, either it's true, and I should work on whatever the truth is. So if my mom's fat, maybe I should help her out and make her skinnier and make her live longer, happier, and happiness and longevity, right? And if she isn't fat, then why am I getting offended by it? The intent was to get you offended. And you're so weak, you align to it. You're so weak and docile and pathetic. You align to it. See, you can say whatever you want to my face. It's either true, and it's something I need to work on, or it's not true, and the person who said it has the problem, not the person who reciprocated it and aligned to it, right? So you can say whatever you want about me, my family members. You can talk all your shit. You can say the thing that irks me the most. It's either true and I fix it, or it's not true, and you shouldn't be offended, because it's not true. Everything else is beta male. It's such pussy logic. And I hope that YouTube doesn't shadow ban this. If they do, go on to Odyssey, where alpha males exist. Instead of YouTube, where everyone's refraining from saying certain words. Oh my God, he said that one thing. Flagged. Cancel culture. They want you weak. And if they can control your mind and manipulate you and control your speech, they control you. See, if you're afraid to say something, there's something wired in your brain that's preventing you from doing the thing that needs to be done. Right? So if I want to be an alpha male, what does that entail? Now, I've made videos about alpha males in the past. I made plenty of videos on alpha males in the past. Go check those out if you want to be aligned with what a human alpha male entails. You know, not when things get a little uncomfortable and you leave like a pussy. You know, like if I was at a bar right now, right? Just put it into this perspective. I'm at the fucking bar right now. Someone's drunk and doing something stupid or overly intoxicated and just dropping their drinks and hitting on the wrong girls and saying the wrong things and calling other men pussies or whatever it is, right? Just being that drunk guy that 40 years ago, not even when I used to go to the bars 10 years ago, I would kick the shit out of that guy to protect the women. I would kick the shit out of him, throw him out, end of story, right? Why doesn't any man do anything now? Why do you call the cops? It's not their job. It's your job as a man in your community. It's your job as a man in your community. See, the importance to create the alpha male, resonates through the idea of responsibility. If you are responsible, you step up to the plate, right? If not, you're a pussy and you don't. Therefore, you're a beta. You need to quit smoking, but you go to rehab, right? Like cigarettes, right? You want to quit smoking cigarettes, and instead of quitting cigarettes like an alpha male would, like, I need to quit smoking, I'm responsible for this, no one else is. You take your pack of cigarettes, you throw it out, you don't buy any more, you don't smoke anymore, you don't ask anymore for people at the bar, hey, can I bum a cigarette? The only way to quit cigarettes is to quit cigarettes. Everything else is literally insane. Insane. So if you're if you're going to rehab or a place that you think, okay, if I don't smoke here because they don't allow smoking here, like I'm in New York, they don't allow smoking in the rehabs, rehabilitation inpatients. And because they don't allow smoking, people think that that's the right choice because, well, if they didn't go to rehab, they have all the opportunity to smoke and do whatever they want anyways. So this controls it. But in rehab, they say, oh, you have a disease. What do you mean? I can't fix this? No, you can't even you're so pathetic and weak that you can't quit smoking or drinking or whatever it is that you're doing at rehab, right? Like they want to tell you it's a disease. Yeah, it's a disease. Anything that doesn't make you of ease is dis-ease. That doesn't mean that you can't control the situation. In fact, that's what they want. They want you not controlling your situation, not being the leader of your life or your environment. Alpha males control the environment. Alpha males have a deeper sense and connection to that responsibility than these pussy fucking beta males. I don't enjoy saying pussy fucking beta males because I want you guys to be tough and strong and just intelligent and wise and you're a man of God because you're spiritually enlightened as well. See, through your life, you will experience tons of anecdotes, you'll go through life. And based on what you understand of life is going to be your limits. If you don't have a father that brought you up, where's the wisdom coming from? If you don't have a father of a household, where's the sternness to do what is right? Where is the sternness to adapt to different situations and environments that might be unpleasant or uncomfortable? Father would say, go mow the lawn. Well, it's raining out there. We need that lawn mowed. You don't have a say in this. Discipline. Discipline. And what happens when discipline is established at a young age? Well, what happens when you're older? You will become a disciple. A disciple. What does disciple mean? It means you are disciplined and you have the responsibility in your life. That's what disciple is. If I'm a disciple, which I know I am, that means when I wake up in the morning and I don't feel like working out or I don't feel like feeding my chickens or whatever it is, I'm like, this shit again. You get over it because you're disciplined. Now, what happens when you don't have a father? Come on. You don't have any reason or innate ability to be responsible. You don't have responsibility, meaning that your tire pops, you call the mechanic instead of fucking just switching it out, right? You could put a donut on your vehicle. It's not difficult. Women should be able to do this. Children, not children, but teenagers should be able to do this. A teenager should know how to change a tire. Should. Key word there. And a father would allow you to be responsible because those things that you need to be developed in life are through the parents. Because let's say you're 18 years old and you leave the house and you get your own job and ooh, it's that hot jogging chick. All right, she ain't as hot as I thought. Okay, I'd do it. Anyways, what was I saying? I'm sorry, guys. Women get me distracted. I forgot what I was saying. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna smoke a pipe. Because, why not, right? It's legal in my state, and it's going to be legal federally. But you should all know, and it'll be a future video in the future, why they are legalizing weed. Because that's their scapegoat of making sure that if you want weed to be legalized, what's going to be illegal? Guns. But we'll talk about that at another time. Do not surrender freedoms for freedoms. In fact, don't surrender at all to other people. That's called being an alpha male. See, if I'm surrendering to you, whether that's I'm going to offend you so I'm not going to say it, I am literally super weak. And it's going to change my genetics. It's going to change my testosterone levels for future generations, let alone all the fucking viruses they're pumping into us these days. Blue Dream. Homegrown. This is my medical grow. One day I'll show you. Go on the weed tube. The weed tube, you'll see my medical grow and my recreational grow. All legal stuff. I just won't post it on YouTube. Because you guys are fucking... Because YouTube's on some other shit. They'll flag... Like, all the shit that I get flagged for as it is, if I show you guys my weed garden, you know, YouTube will age restrict it and make sure no one can see it. It's stupid. Over weed, which is legal. Like, I don't even get it. Nothing makes sense these days, and you should not be surrendering to anybody. See, that's why philosophy will change the world, and that's why only alpha males can be philosophers. It requires personal thought, based on anecdotes or environment or what's going on, period, right? And it's based on your thoughts or your understanding of the universe / your understanding of the situation / your unique wisdom. That's why philosophy will change the world, is because you are thinking. You're not just hearing something from the news and regurgitating it to your fucking loved ones, which is harming everyone. Think for yourself. It's an alpha male quality. So, I know I've made videos on fathers. I've made so many videos on fathers. We don't have to dive into fatherhood anymore. We already understand throughout all my content that I'm so adamant about men stepping up to the plate and being fathers and being alpha males. Because we used to have alpha males. When I was a kid, I remember seeing these people. And something happened where, you know, it more than just the father thing, more than just what they're putting in the water, more than just all the chemicals on your food, more than just the vaccines, which I don't even know if I'm allowed to say the word anymore. Who gives a fuck? They banned it on YouTube. They took it off YouTube. But if you go to Odyssey or library.tv, look up my video, The Mind of Opex. Speak even if your voice shakes. It's one of my favorite videos, and it just will entail, doesn't matter what the fuck they're saying, you know it's wrong, you know you need to stand up, you need to speak the truth, period. Because if you're not, you are realigning and changing the wiring of your brain on how to communicate with others and to produce those alpha qualities. And if they have you muzzled with the mask, they have you surrendering to all types of shit like 6 feet away, just you doing that is making you a weaker person genetically, let alone physically, mentally, and spiritually. Physically, because you're afraid of things, so you are timid. And that timidness will express itself physically. 2, mentally, if you're timid and you're scared and you're already siphoning in your ability for thought versus what reality is or entails, and you are being produced by this TV, by that spokesperson, how you should think, That's going to affect your psyche, obviously. Spiritually, because you're always scared, timid. Of course, that's affecting your endorphins, let alone the ability to smile with strangers. Right? An alpha teaches his children. An alpha teaches his community. The alpha will bring up those young kids in the community. Here's the pull-up bar. Here's your Bible. And I will stick with you as long as it takes for you to understand how to use these things. An alpha male in any species are generally more, I don't want to say the word gifted, are better off physically and mentally. Better off. Physically and mentally stronger than the next man or male. Whether that's a lion, human, whatever. Okay, it's actually kind of fucking hot here. So the point I'm getting at here is that you should be striving daily to increase your physical health, your mental health, and your spiritual health. That trinity right there. Because if you are controlling those three things, you are disciplined. And if you're disciplined, betterment comes. That's why I always call myself, I always call myself in the last 3 years, my greatest version. Because every day, physically, if I don't stretch, I can pull a muscle. And I almost pulled one by flexing. But, I have whatever. My fucking chest is fucking ripped, my shoulders, everything. Traps, round boys. Anyways, physically, mentally. So what do I do mentally? I think a lot. I make videos. I really practice philosophy. I try to understand everything. Because if I'm not well versed or understanding of that thing, then why would I even discuss it? Or how can I even help somebody? Anybody. Whether that be a child or my mom or family or friends or strangers. How can I help you on YouTube if I don't understand it enough? See, a lot of times people are a result or a consequence of their environment. So this would be like if you're from the hood, and everyone around you saying, this is the cool thing, we will respect you with this. You're going to become this. They say you're the median of all your friends. So if you have a circle of 6 friends, let's say, you are the average on general because you don't think for yourself. You don't speak for yourself. You don't have individual conscious thought. And you are derived to surrender to the environment. That's why people believe, this is going to be big for you guys, some of you guys. Some people believe in what do they call it? Fuck. Hence, maybe I shouldn't smoke weed before making videos. The simulation. People think life is simulated. The reason why people think life is simulated, because they're not alphas anymore. They don't have a brain anymore. They're connected to technology. They're androids. They're cyborgs. They're not men. There's no testosterone. There's no freedom of thought or expression. So what happens? They shave their beard. They cut their hair. They surrender. They go to their corporate slave job for the rest of their life, not knowing their power, not knowing that, not even thinking. Everyone else is getting taxed. Who am I to talk about it? What are you, fucking an idiot? Who likes half their shit being stolen? Bring it up. Because if you don't, no more alpha males, guys. Speak. Because if you don't, you can't be an alpha. You're a pussy. You're a pussy guy. Right? If there's a tough guy that walked down the street and I didn't like that person, I don't keep it to myself. It's not because I'm trying to instigate fights. It's because I'm a truther. If I don't like somebody, I'm going to say, hey, I don't like this shit about you. Or you're drunk. Or you're this. Or you're that. If I keep that to myself, I'm a pussy. If you have a wife and she's gaining weight and you don't mention anything, you may be a pussy. Oh, I don't want the argument, pussy. Communication's key, and if you're scared to communicate with a woman, she's gonna yell and put me in timeout, make me sleep on the couch, you're a pussy. And they have bred you to be this way. Without fathers, without men, without seeing with your eyes the greatness. And at stores, you're so susceptible to ice cream and potato chips or whatever the fuck gross shit that you're probably consuming, keeping you in a delusional state of docile beta maleism. I don't even know what to call it. But it's a docile state. It's not temporary. You are continually making it so you cannot escape. You can't think for yourself. You say this one thing, she won't date you because you're going to say that thing. Say that thing. Then you know where you stand with her. But I need to get the pussy. That's the problem. It's so easy to get pussy, and men don't realize it. You don't have to be attractive. You don't have to have the best speech craft. Women need men just like men need women. And you know how much you can't wait to be with that woman for whatever reason. Generally sex. Point is, they have the same feeling. And yeah, of course, what is it, 15% of all men? 15% are fucking 80% of all women? What's going on here? Yeah, that 15% don't even have to be alpha males. They don't. People think of them as alpha males because I'm sure at least half of them are. But you don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be an alpha male. You don't have to be a guru in the love world to have sex these days, or any day. The only problem is that the men in the world are betas, just like the women. Women are betas more than ever, in alarming rates. They're betas. But it shouldn't be that less than 1% of the population's not getting poisoned, very good health, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Less than 1% of the population. 99% of the population have problems. Viruses, diseases, sugar problems, diabetes, which is sugar problem, which is generally, I mean, you get the virus, and instead of your immune system always dealing with it the rest of your life, except for times when it is weaker, what happens is you consume sugars, and those sugars are not in pure form, or should I say fibrous form, like an apple. When you consume an apple, you're not going to have crazy insulin spikes. Are you going to have some spike in insulin? Sure. But not like consuming 5 scoops of ice cream, right? And you're so adapted to consuming sugar. You're so adapted to it that you feel like you're hungry if you don't get it. That hunger is just a need to spike up that insulin again. That's all it is. And you know what sugars do to your veins and arteries? Well, your arteries. So sugars are a salt, right? It dilutes in water, or it's water soluble. So what happens when it gouts and it comes together and it congregates? It solidifies again. Then what happens when you pump that solids through your arteries? What happens? It's like sandpaper, guys. That's not good in itself, your cardiovascular health. But on top of that, sugars, what they do to viruses. See, the sugars harm your immune system. Your immune system is really weak and allows these viruses to come out of those cells, replicate, and become worse and worse. And sometimes you'll go through a bout during this time, or even a sleep bout that you might not even feel or recognize, but you're still going through it. If you're consuming any type of sugar in amounts or in bad forms. not raw forms. Point is, what you're doing as a man is weakening you, your genetics, your physical, mental, and spiritual health. It's making you weaker. It's making your communication worse. And how do you think that's going to affect the next generation after the generation before us has already affected us? And what we are continually perpetuating a worse and worse result of a human being. Weaker, docile, shaves their beard, has no thought process. They might as well just be an android. That's what beta males are. If you are on Twitter, you are a beta male. No alpha male needs to tell the world anything constantly like that, right? If it's long form and it can help people, sure. There are people like that, I get it. Obviously, I am one. I don't have the Twitters or whatever the fuck they are, tweets. I don't know what it is that they do, but the point is I'm getting at is that the world needs more disciplined men, raised by men, to do manly shit to prepare them for adult life instead of cowering. I'm going to reiterate, and we'll go deep into the fruits of the importance of your childhood and how important that is. The younger, the better. And we'll do a sneak peek now. Your childhood, in terms of like playing and being around your peers and learning how to argue, is more crucial than how they're living now. I could have said a million different things, and I was like, anything really. Point is I'm getting at is that if you are having your kid watching TV, playing video games, not talking to peers or arguing or having any type of individual thought, what happens as an adult is that that kid is guaranteed to be a beta male. There's no genetic superiority that can change that, or a gene that switches on, like that's like, I'm going to be an alpha. That doesn't exist. It has a lot to do, less genetically, more mentally. Seriously. Less physically or genetically, more mentally. So this would be your environment and how you were brought up and how you understand the world. If your father, let's say your father was there, but never taught you how to do anything, like how to change a tire or you name it, right? Like even play sports, like here's the basketball, you dribble it, no, you're doing it like terrible, let's do it like this. And teaching, right? As men are really good at, naturally. But the point is I'm getting is that if your childhood doesn't have any type of learning, any type of ability to understand this is how life is, like if the kid's not brought to the garden by the age of 3 and learning what seeds are and stuff like that, what happens when they're 40 and shit hits the fan and they can't get food at the store? What's going to happen to that individual? Let alone the beta type of life they lived, right? Where they had to call up somebody else to fix the problem for them at all times because they never learned how to you unscrew the light bulb like this. That's pretty much how everything is, just a little more complex, right? Life just gets more complex and you got to learn it. And if you don't learn it, then how do you wrap your head around it? And if you are fully developed, you're probably fully developed in your brain by the age of 25. But in terms of how the general population understand the world today, they stop learning by the age of 18. Then they know everything. And their brain doesn't really develop any further. Maybe in maturity, but not in terms of understanding the world and how it operates. And like Nikola Tesla once said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of frequency, energy, and whatever else he said. I'm a little high right now. I actually smoke really good weed. I grow it too. I grow really good weed. And vibration. If you want to know the secrets of the world, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Meaning, it's not right in front of your eyes. They're secrets. And there's a lot of things going on that you can't just see with a very, very low conscious mind. You need to increase your consciousness to understand, grasp, and understand how that entails in the environment. And then it's like how you understand things matters in everything in life. Before you read a book, if you are 5 years old and you don't get anything in life, when you read the Holy Bible, you're going to be really confused. You're not going to grasp much. But then you read that when you're 55 or something, right? Then it's like you have a different outtake on the world by 55, and what you understand from the Bible would be way different, or whatever book, or whatever thing, right? Like if you tried an onion at the age of 5, it's going to be different than 55. It's just what it is, right? So understand one thing is that if you are not striving to be in those uncomfortable situations and to control your destiny and to be responsible, you can't be an alpha. If you're going to refrain what you're... And now I get this, right? Like, if you're smart, you know what to say. If you were wise, you'd know whether or not to say it. I get that. But on outside of that spectrum, if you really think about it, no one is people are scared. The average person's scared to talk about things. I have a cousin that when I got off Facebook recently, so I'm not on that anymore. Thank God. Thank God I finally fucking did it. Point is, I have a cousin that would be like, I would say anything to you personally. With the cell phones in the other room, no one's recording us, stuff like that. But I would never say that on Facebook. That puts a red flag on me. You fucking beta. Be the light. Let other men know it's okay to be men. It's okay to grow out your beard. And if women don't like it, that's a beta woman. Because women are supposed to like men. They're supposed to. They're supposed to. So strive to be a man. Control your environment. Know what's right. Be disciplined to get up and fucking do it. Like Nike. Take care of yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. And then you can be the light for future generations. You can... As I said earlier, you are the median of all your friends. What changes when you become an alpha? You bring up the vibration of your group. People are stronger physically, mentally, and spiritually because of that. You guys know I can talk all day. You guys probably already turned off this video, or I probably didn't get many views, so fuck you guys. No, I'm just joking. Next video might be the children playing. Let me know if that's what you want. If one person says, yes, I want to know detailed the children playing thing, I will detail it next. Otherwise, we'll probably do something else. So stay tuned for more content. It's Opex, physically, mentally, and spiritually becoming my greatest version, helping you guys out and the rest of the world. Happiness and longevity. It's Opex. Become an alpha male. I'm out.